reason why Palmer's is here in the outback of the Philippines basically is to save life and deliver hope to the people. When I first came to the ministry, I was inexperienced, young, and as soon as I came to know Palmer's in 2019, and I came to know the ministry, and I worked with those that went before me, I've learned a lot from them, like Kuya Sean and Kuya Daniel. I've learned a lot from them in the process of serving. Overall, we do medevac flights, especially pilots. When they're on call, they would fly out into those remote islands and mountains, and they would bring patients from those places to a big city hospital so that they can get their medical assistance. And that's what basically Palmer's does. If it wasn't for Palmer's, if you look at how people live in the rural, or I would say like most people consider like most of the island here are remote and traditional, and they don't have the best facility for the medical assistant for all kinds of patients, whether it might be a pregnant mother or any kind of patient, I would say. So Palmer's basically they're out here to provide that platform to assist the patient so that they can get that medical assistant in the city hospital. If you look at the airplane, it's a huge blessing in the ministry. Without the airplane, it wouldn't be possible to bring patients out from the remote islands or the mountains. You know, there would be other means of transportation, like people would, go on a ferry or on a boat, but it will take much longer time, the actual flight time. If you go on a plane, it's much more easy than you go on a boat. It takes much longer time, and at the end of the day, it might cost so much time and life. But with the help of the airplane, it speeds up the process so that you can bring the patient within less time. I grew up around, a lot of missionary people, especially from the state. My village is not far from the organization that they serve also in my country, where they do a lot of medevac flights, mission flying. And that's where I got my aspiration to become a pilot. And growing up, I also wanted to be that little LPN. And I always told myself that one day if I grew up to become a missionary pilot or someone, someone with influence in the future, I would rather become a little LPN to help people than do something else. That's why I chose to become a missionary pilot. Back in Heli 2021, I believe I was, as far as I can remember vividly, I was on call for a medevac flight in a small remote island in Cuyo to pick up a pregnant mother. She was due for labor, but she had to undergo a cesarean section, or in short, they call it C-section. And the next day I flew to Cuyo and I picked her up. It was during a pandemic, and I transported her back to Puerto Princesa, the city hospital, and she was able to undergo C-section and deliver a healthy baby girl. Looking back, if it wasn't for that flight and service, it wouldn't be possible for the mother and the child. Even though there would be other means of transportation, like they would take ferry or boat, but it would take longer than the actual flight. And at the end of the day, it will cost both life, the mother and the newborn baby. But I thank God that I was available at the time, and with their help and the work of this ministry, we were able to get the work done for God's service. When it comes to work, it's diverse. In those times that we don't have flights, we would go out and do all kinds of work, whether it might be working on our ongoing project with building and construction, or working on a tractor, mowing the runway, or even work on missionary motorcycle, or picking up missionary from the mountains, whatever our hands can find. And then I also saw the need Recently, early this year, I finished my EMT, emergency medical technician. Looking back, I don't want to be an EMT until I came here to be a missionary pilot, and I saw the need of being a medical worker at First Aid and go on and take up EMT. But my long-term goal would be fully equipped in terms of in medic and aviation, and also to be a mechanic by God's grace, so that I can be fully at service in God's ministry, and I can do whatever my hands can find to do, to be that little helping hand to those who are in need, so that I can be able to be a witness and spread love in whoever that I came across.